Hey you guys, what's going on? Jen Bocabella here, Beauty No Filter. Well, one of the most common messages I get from women is that they're just not happy with their makeup. They need help. They don't love their makeup, and that's very common. It's common even for makeup artists. I have that problem too, where I get bored or I'll try something new and it doesn't look anything like what it did on somebody else. Hopefully in this video I can help you troubleshoot and figure out what the issue could be, because it could be any number of things. So to start, the first thing I want you to take a look at, and this is what I consider to be the most important part of any makeup routine. I know some people who don't even use this, and it blows my mind because it is called foundation for a reason. I could not imagine putting on eyeshadow, eyeliner, mascara, blush, highlighter, contour, concealer without foundation. I can't even fathom that, because what the foundation is doing is getting rid of any discoloration and giving you a flat, just beautiful canvas to work on. You want to get rid of any discoloration, anything that's going to funk with the color of the makeup, with the texture of the makeup. When it comes to coverage and foundation, what you can be looking at is how light your coverage is. You're using too light of a foundation. I know a lot of women who use light to medium coverage or even a BB cream, and that could be the problem. Maybe try coming in with a full coverage foundation. Lime Life by Alcone is really great, the wax base, because you get the full coverage. But if you want to switch it up and get like a BB cream coverage, which is just a tinted moisturizer, you just come in, you put the foundation on the back of your hand, couple pumps of your moisturizer, mix it up, and there you've got a tinted moisturizer. So you get a lot of versatility with the wax-based foundation. But that would be the first thing I would tell you to look at, is your foundation coverage. If you are using a light to medium, bump it up to a full coverage and see if that helps you fall in love with it. The other thing is you're not using a concealer. You've got to, again, get rid of any discoloration. That's going to mess with what you're looking at when you're seeing, dark circles, red scarring. So if you're not using a concealer, add that to your routine. The other thing for coverage is setting powder. If you are using it, stop using it. Try just the foundation with no powder over it. And then in reverse, if you are not using a setting foundation, try adding that to your routine. There's tons of, I think what the misconception is with setting powders is that it's going to make your face look dry and matte, and that's not true. If you're using the right setting powder, it'll still give you that nice, dewy, healthy glow, but just maybe make it look a little bit more airbrushed, the finish of your skin. Translucent setting powder is awesome. I use it in almost every makeup application when I'm doing clients especially. RCMA is a really great one, but this is loose and it makes an awful mess. I dump it into the cap so that I can get my brush at it, and then trying to get it back into this I've got a funnel here, and even with the damn funnel, I still make a mess. It's just awful. So I love using let's see if I have it handy right here. I love using my pressed powder. Still translucent. It's not gonna completely mattify your face. It's just gonna take away some of that shine. It's great, especially if you have oily skin. All right, the other thing I want you to consider switching up that may need a little adjustment is the techniques that you're using. That could be, if you're used to using a pencil for your eyeliner, try switching it up and coming into a tight angled brush like this, dipping into your eyeshadow and using that as an eyeliner. It could be even the size of your brush. I just figured this out for myself. So this is how normal it is. Like, you think you're the only one with this issue, but I have this issue too, and I literally just last week figured out this problem. So for my contour, previously I was using this brush. It's a great brush. I love that it's angled, which kind of follows the shape of my cheek, but I just wasn't happy with the way my contour was blending out and the way it was finishing. So it finally dawned on me, switch up my brush. So now I'm using this big guy, big and fluffy. It's more diffused, it's not as tight, and I don't end up with like that dark brown line under my cheek. So try switching up your brush. So that's for your face, but for your eyes, you guys, no joke. I have so many of these brushes because this brush is just a staple in my makeup routine, even with my clients. This type of brush where it's just a little bit more fluffy, great for diffusing eyeshadows. I use it especially for my transition, for getting really tight in the crease. This is really good for colors that you're putting on your eye that you just want like a more diffused look. You don't want it to be as intense. It should just be a lighter, more smooth color. Then you conversely want to come in with more of a tighter brush. Make sure you have a variety of brushes is what I'm getting at, because the density of the brush, the thickness, the size can change the way the makeup looks on you, can change the way the makeup is performing. So go out there, Ulta, Target, Rite Aid, any drugstore, have some really great affordable brushes. So definitely add some new brushes to your arsenal. The second last thing, when it comes to not being happy with your makeup, it might not be you. It might be the pigment in the shadow, or the pigment in the foundation, or the pigment in the blush. So pigment plays a huge role in how makeup looks on your face. Pigment means how much of the makeup is the true color. So when I am putting on my Shinto 3 foundation with the 50% pigment, what I see in my pan is what is gonna go on my face. When you get to the lower pigments, it's still good, it's not awful, it's not as opaque, it's not as true to the color, it's got more filler in it. So I'm not saying you have to buy more expensive makeup, because I'm telling you, my NYX Wet n Wild, ColourPop, the pigment in those are just as gorgeous as my Huda, my Anastasia. So I'm not saying you have to buy more expensive, just switch up the brand that you're using. All right, so try fixing the pigment, because that really could be the issue. And then the last thing, I know I say this all the time, I'm sure people are sick of me saying this, but don't neglect your eyebrows. Don't neglect your eyebrows. I know you might think, oh, my eyebrows are great the way they are, or who cares? Nobody notices the eyebrows. Trust me, you notice. You don't realize you notice, but you notice when your eyebrows are lacking. So you can have a full face of makeup on, and I literally just did this before this video. I put a full face of makeup on, and I'm looking at it in the mirror, and I'm like, ooh, something's missing. It doesn't look right. Like, I'm not happy with the way my makeup looks. So I originally used a pencil, it's not even a light brown, it's just like a medium brown. I originally went in with a medium brown pencil. It wasn't dark enough. I came in with a tapered type brush and dipped into my dark brown eyeshadow and went in and filled it in, and what a difference. It's one of those things where you don't realize how important it is until you start doing it, and then you're like, holy crap, why have I not been doing this? It literally frames your face. If people can't see it, if it's washed out because you've got a full face of makeup on, which totally washed out your brows, it's gonna look funky. It's gonna look off. And most cases you can't pinpoint what it is. It's probably your eyebrows. I'm not saying go super heavy. I'm not saying you have to go super dark. But what I am saying is, if you're putting on a full face of makeup, do not neglect your eyebrows. Make sure you put some kind of filler into your brows to add a little more oomph to them so that it matches with the rest of your makeup. All right. So again, it's coverage, technique, pigment, and eyebrows. Take a look at those 4 areas, switch it up, see if that helps. If it doesn't, private message me and I will work one-on-one with you for a more tailored kind of assessment of your makeup and figure out how we can get you loving your makeup. Questions or comments, please post them below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you know somebody else who might enjoy this video, find value in this video, please share it with them. But I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you all soon. Ciao, Bellas.
I can't seem to say goodbye. Ooh, yeah. When I try to fall back, I fall back.